good work day for us this morning. I thought the guys came out with nice energy. Continue to carry that over from last week and Sunday. Definitely pleased with the mindset that we're bringing. It wasn't a flawless practice, but it was one that I thought the intensity level, the competition, the response to mistakes that were made, and a continued push for improvement. Was pleasing to see. So. I know our guys are excited about the opportunity to play. It's been a long time since we've got a chance to compete in a game, and so these guys are continuing to prepare at a high level, and that's what you can ask for as a coach. And I thought that they got the week started off the right way, and we've got to continue on with that here as the week progresses.
First question will be Antoine Staley from Tallahassee Democrat.
Can you just talk about Duke and what do you see from their team, and also David Cutcliffe and the job that he's done there?
Yeah, just an incredibly coached football team. Got all the respect in the world for Coach Cut. And I mean, you look at throughout his career, it's so impressive to see. What the challenges that they present. Schematically. It's really in all phases. You look at them. I mean, whether it's their punt block unit, make an impact in game-changing plays. You see, offensively the things that they can do with structures, personnels, utilizing the personnel that they have, and defensively, very multiple in their approach of how they attack. And I know they've had some disappointments throughout the course of the year. This is an uncharacteristic year for them. In the number of turnovers that they've had. But this is a team that's capable of playing really good football. And they've shown those flashes throughout the season. The thing that's hurt them is when they have turned the ball over. So we've got to make sure that for our team that we're not giving them extra possessions. That if we can get an opportunity to get our hands on the ball on defense and in special teams, that we take advantage of those opportunities. But we know that we're about to play a very well coached team that's going to come in and compete at a high level.
Coach, this might be a little bit of a Florida boy question, but have you seen any of the team responding to the fact that it's cold and it hasn't happened at all so far this year?
We practiced hard today. It was good. That was the response that I needed to see, and it was cold to Tallahassee standards. So it was I guess that was a little bit of a difference. But our guys they approached it the right way, and we went out and got working.
Hey, Coach, I wanted to ask about, I guess, obviously you weren't the coach here when Janarius kind of went through the process of losing his house due to the hurricane. I know over the weekend he posted about that they're close to kind of having that again. I don't know how much he's kind of talked to you about that, but I guess just how much has that come up between y'all? I mean, obviously it's a tough thing for anyone to go through, and just in general, what has he meant to the program this year?
Well, that came up in our very first conversation, and just trying to get a sense of who he is, and his time here at Florida State, and it's just he actually came up, and we were able to have a conversation last night, just kind of one-on-one, and I think that you look at his career, and there's been some ups and downs, in all aspects, on the field, off the field, having to deal with so much change throughout the course of his career. And we're continuing to push him, and we're going to push him to the very end to have that mindset of improvement, of maxing out the opportunity, and really, he's one of the guys that I'd say in the last week, you see an older guy in their career that has had as much of the emotional swings that we've faced here late in the season, and he's really responded the right way. And I think this last week and a half has probably been his best week and a half in preparation in what he's doing. And I challenged him even last night just to make sure that we continue that throughout the course of the week and go play your best ball. This is his last home game, for this season and potentially for his career. And so go make the most of it. But he's a great young man. He's got a servant's heart. I'm grateful for some of the steps that I'm seeing. Even here late in this season, for him just trying to be the best version of himself.
Next is Joey Lamar from WCTV.
Hey, Coach. I was wondering if you thought Duke might have a little bit of an advantage because, they've been able to play the past 2 weeks, even though, there were still losses, but, they were able to have that game experience. And if you thought that might be a little advantage, or if you thought maybe you guys might possibility come out a little rusty since you haven't played since November 12th.
That's something that, and really our focus is on ourselves when it comes to that. It's whenever you don't get to play in a game, for as long as it's been for us, we've got to make sure that we're sharp in all aspects. And it's one of the things that we've talked to our guys about is bringing that game type approach to every practice. And, we want that to be the standard and, continue to prepare at that level so that, you keep that edge about you. And, we know that, there's going to be a lot of emotion, a lot of excitement come Saturday. And we're going to have to go out there and make sure we're able to harness that emotion, and you'll be able to go out and execute at a very high level. And that's why the way that we prepare, the mindset that we bring, and the overall approach in all those situations is going to be critical. And so it's more of a concern on our end, just that we can stay focused on the details and being able to with all the emotion, being able to go out there and play the game the way that we're capable of playing it.
Next will be RSFL from Warcamp.
The Senior Bowl people, I guess, announced last week that Hamza has agreed to play in the Senior Bowl. I was just curious, did you guys have any kind of conversations about any possibility of him? Was he conflicted at all about possibly coming back next year? And you've talked about it before, about what he's meant to this team, I guess, in the season, even when he couldn't play. But I was wondering if you could reflect on that again.
We've had conversations, throughout, or even early part of the season while he was in his rehabilitation process. I was excited that he was extended the opportunity for the Senior Bowl. He did accept that, and we're going to finish out the season, and he's going to go play his best ball. And I really believe that his best days are in front of him. I've got all the respect in the world for Hamza and who he is as a person, the work that he's put in, the teammate he is. I mean, it has been a joy to watch him throughout this process, and he's definitely excited for the games that are in front of us. But I think when you get an invitation like that, you get to make a choice that if that is the next step, then that's a wonderful event to be a part of, and I'm glad that he did accept that, and just excited about these next couple games here in front of us.
Next will be Allison Posey from WTSL.
Hey, Coach. Just wondering, I know the lack of consistency has been something that this team has struggled with, obviously in games and both in practice. I'm just wondering, since you guys have had so much practice time, have you had a chance to notice if that's improved yet, or will Saturday kind of be the telltale sign to see if that carries over?
Well, I mean, it's something that you strive for, as a part of any team, is to see that consistent growth and how you practice, how you prepare, and then how that does carry over. A lot of the inconsistencies that we've had in games is, I think part of it's based on personnel, just the fact that we've had so many different combinations and so many different lineups, guys that have had to step up and due to injury, due to other circumstances. But it's been fun to see the guys respond, and especially here these last few weeks, their response to those situations, having to play as much youth as we've had, not having that consistency in our lineup, and with in regards to the personnel. But that's part of this year, and it's part of the adversity that we faced. But I do believe that we're learning through that, and we're getting better as each day goes by. So I'm definitely excited to see it carry over come Saturday.
We'll go back to Kurt from the Democrat.
You all found out last week you're for sure going to be playing a game on the 19th. I know that comes right after the early signing period. Obviously, that's a situation where a team's normally preparing for a bowl, but doesn't have kind of such an immediate game after that. How does that kind of change things, make things more difficult having a game, the day after the end of the early signing period?
Well, it is definitely a unique year, and it's unique in all aspects. We're seeing, I would say that here these last few weeks have been as different as anything, because these would be the times that we'd be normally have, being able to go on home visits and being able to get, in front of these families and, their recruit, obviously the recruits, we'd have official visits. We'd get these kids on campus, and that's one of the things that's just, it's sad and kind of disappointing just, for this year's class. class. I mean, it's, since the first week of March, or really, March 12th, we haven't had any opportunity to get these guys on campus. There's guys that are making college decisions without, really ever having the opportunity to step on that campus. And, with a new staff and some of the things that we're working through, we're making it the best that we possibly can, virtually, and being able to share that vision. In some aspects, we're trying to utilize the nights to have some of these, virtual home visits, and making sure that we are connecting, be able to answer a lot of the questions that are there. But it's just such a different year, and it's just like anything else that we tell our players, you got to adapt and adjust. But just trying to present all the things that Florida State has to offer, and obviously excited about what the future holds.
This will be Brendan Simone from Knowles 247.
Hi, Mike. I believe that today is a year since you accepted the FSU job and were announced. I know it's been a pretty crazy year. I guess what would have been the biggest challenge of this year one at Florida State? And then on a positive note, I guess what are areas of growth that you've seen from yourself individually and in the program?
Well, it's been definitely a very unique year, and it's been one that's it's been tremendous joy. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be here and to be able to work with these players, to be able to work and represent this university. It is, every day is a growing process for us, and we are building this program in a way to truly have a foundation that is capable and ready to take that next step to getting us back to where we need to be, as a program, and to see the consistent work of our players and the belief and the growth that we've had throughout this year, something that I'm excited about. I mean, you look at a roster that's 75% freshmen or sophomores. I mean, there's some learning experience that we faced and some adversity that has shown up that it definitely challenges you. It challenges you emotionally. It challenges you physically, just with the length of the season. Some of the things that we faced without having a full off season. Not having a spring practice, not having the prep that built up there with our summer training. But these kids have just they've went out there. They've continued to work. There is a very bright future in store for this program and where we're going. And even though it's been a crazy year, there's just so much joy that I have for being here at Florida State, and I know for what the future holds.
Go back to Antoine from Democrat.
Obviously, you want to win on Saturday, but what are some other things that you want to see from this team, considering you hadn't played in 28 days?
I want to see us continue to take those positive steps in the right direction with the our overall execution, communication, situational awareness. Seeing a relentless effort and mindset. To go out there and take a plan that we have in place and to be able to execute that to the best of our ability. On defense, understanding what we're trying to take away. There's every call that we have is trying to put us in a position to go and achieve in a successful manner. And when you see the confidence that you have in understanding the responsibility and the job, and then being able to cut it loose and go play at a very high level offensively, just that consistent execution with being able to establish drives, just seeing the growth in our third and fourth down situations, and then getting a chance to see the explosiveness and those playmakers emerge. Those are things that are critical for us. And then continue to develop there in our special teams units, and that's something that we spend a lot of time and make a lot of investment in the fundamentals, and implementing those game plans, and really seeing our guys play with the confidence from the work that they've put in, and that's probably been one of the toughest things over the last month, is that we've had, I guess it's 2 or 3 different game plans that we're going into weeks with, and you want to see that, you see the preparation, you build in the confidence of what you're about to go do, and then we're just not having the opportunity to execute that and to really be able to judge those steps that have taken place. And so it's going to be big. It's going to be big, getting an opportunity to go do that on Saturday, and I know our guys are definitely excited for the opportunity.
All right, last one, we'll go back to Ira.
Just going back to recruiting, do you feel like, it seems like first-year coaches obviously were in a tougher situation this year than other coaches, even though it's tough on everybody because you guys hadn't been here to build those relationships previously. Do you feel like going forward that everybody's going to be kind of on the same footing, even in the sense of, we don't know when visits are ever going to open up again, but the fact that, for 2022 kids, everybody's pretty much close to the same starting line?
Yeah, I think so. I think when you look at 22, 23, those next classes, we've had a lot of investment in building relationships, even moving forward with that. And we know that we've had some of the early year or the earlier year players that are in those classes that were able to get here, in January and early in March. And we're excited about the start that we have there. But on the flip side, it's it definitely there's a lot in those classes that haven't been many places, and so to be able to invest in a relationship, obviously these kids see what we're building and the foundation that is being laid, and what we're working to accomplish, and so I'm excited about being able to put that on display here moving forward, and getting these kids on campus there I guess after April 15th, and being able to build those relationships in all aspects, and you're definitely excited about those classes upcoming, and the finish to the class that we're about to sign here in the early signing period, as well as there in February.